Now, I've been consistently green and profitable for 4 months now, and this is going to be my first profitable year after struggling for 5+ years with day trading. Now, what I'm going to do in this video is break down the best strategy you can use to finally pass that prop firm challenge, continue to do the same in the funded phase, and then take a payout. Firstly, I'll take you through some of my stats from the previous months, and then I'll get into one of my favorite and easiest strategies I like to use that helps me keep things super simple. Now, all I trade is the first 2 hours of the New York session. No Asia, no London, no pre-market, no after hours, just 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. That 2-hour window is all that you need. I used to trade 8 to 12 hours a day trying to catch multiple trades, and it just led me absolutely nowhere. So now I just try to simplify as much as I possibly can. If you have any questions, post them in the comments. Here we go. So this is TradeZella, by the way, the absolute best journaling software there is. I use this to journal all of my trades. It goes in depth with your stats, as you can see here. Now, I've been focusing on quality over quantity here. I'm trading less, but I'm trading quality setups, right? It's maximum 3 to 4 trades per day. Well, recently I've been really trying to stick to that. So at first, this was August where I started these 3 funded accounts with Lucid Trading. It was a great first month. I mean, 1.2K profit, only trading like 1 to 2 contracts max, maybe 3 I think was with this month. But I do want to jump ahead to October here, because what I did at one point was size up dramatically, as you can see here, minus 1.23K, minus 945. And I had like 4 losing days in a row. I lost a lot here, and as you can see with this dip right here in the P&L, I almost lost these 3 accounts. I came so close, and by some miracle, JK, not a miracle, but I did trade pretty good on these 3 days. I made it all back and some. As you can see, I recovered nicely from that. But after this week, I had to step back and reassess, because I kind of got that false confidence again where I thought I knew what I was doing, and I sized up to like 5 contracts out of nowhere, trading with size. So I stepped back, I sized back down, as you can see here. I sized back down for the following month as well, and November was great. It ended up being a good month. And then we are now in December. I'm still sized down, and this is a great month. I mean, I'm on par to beat my best month, which was August of 1.2K. Now, I'll shortly go over 1 or 2 trades here with my favorite breakout and retest examples. I mean, you can call it a break and retest strategy. I just like to add that little twist of breakout and retest, and I'll explain it and show you why later. But this is one of the easiest strategies to master as a beginner and as a seasoned trader. Now, the first thing you want to do is mark out your key levels: previous day high, previous day low, pre-market high, pre-market low. And then as the day goes on, just mark out the 15-minute orb, which is the opening range during the day. So you wait for the breakout and retest, and then the retest needs to show strong price action confirmation before you enter. This strategy also teaches great patience and discipline, because it might not show up every day, but that is completely fine to not take a trade every day. We aren't always going to get that good price action and a perfect entry every single day that we want, because our trading accounts also act like a business. And if you ask yourself, what is one of the top goals of businesses? And it's to protect profits. So actually not getting into a position is taking a position. You're protecting your account. and you're protecting your peace because you aren't just randomly trying to win and end the day green. Losses are part of trading, yes, but only if you're 100% okay with taking that loss because it's part of your plan. Anyone that promises you a 100% winning strategy is 100% lying. There's no such thing. You will lose. That is okay. Losing is part of the process too. But as long as you learn from your losing trades, you're actually getting better. That's why it's so important to journal. That's why I say get TradeZella and review the trading day. See what you did right, see what you did wrong, what can you improve, what you missed, what you didn't miss, etc., etc. Like, get into the nitty-gritty details so that you can become better and you go into the following day, the following week, the following month with more knowledge of what is working and what isn't working. This is how you get better. And not only with day trading, this is how you get better with anything. You track, you get data, and then you review the data, and then you go back to doing the thing with that new knowledge. That's how you get better. So let me jump into one or two trades here. Let's go into November 24th here. Let's view the note. Okay. So this day started out, as you can see, I have the key levels marked here: previous day high, pre-market high. Now the pre-market low and the previous day low were pretty far down. So I was going into this day looking for longs, as I posted in my pre-market plan in Discord. Now at open 9:30, we absolutely shot through these two key levels. And I was looking to go long from the start, even before the day opened. I was looking to go long after we got above these two key levels. Now at open, this moved way too fast. I wasn't going to try to catch this. Now, this is actually the perfect example of the breakout and retest. So this broke out strongly above, and then we wait for the retest. We wait for price to pull back and test that area and show us that buyers are stepping in. It's very important to wait for that confirmation, as I said. So as we can see, pushing down, never touched it yet, pushing down. It touched it here, it actually retested it, and as we can see here, buyers were stepping in. These wicks get bought up 2 times, and both of these candles close over the previous day high. Now I actually missed my entry here because I wasn't confident enough. Like, this didn't really feel right to me, so I missed this entry. I mean, this would have been so much better to catch this full move going up. But I did patiently wait for the break of this downtrend here. We broke the downtrend and we closed with strong volume over the 5-minute high at 10 a.m. I took an entry there. I just went for a 2-to-1 RR. I think that might have been a little more than 2-to-1, but still a great win. I'll take that any day. In and out within 5 minutes. So that's a great example of the breakout and retest. I'm going to show you why I do the breakout and retest and why it's one of the easiest strategies, because sometimes that breakout is going to fake you out. Let's jump into December 3rd here. I think this was the best example of it. Yeah, okay, so this is a good one here. So December 3rd, even before the market opened, we actually dumped really hard because there was Microsoft news on this day. If I do remember correctly, we pushed down. Now, as you can see here, we made a double bottom before market opened. We pushed up high nicely, but because of this dump, I was only looking for shorts. Now, I said if and only if we break pre-market low and previous day high and previous day low, will I go short? And we never broke it. That's why sometimes it's good to have a conditional statement like that, the if and only if, because you're not going to take the trade unless it follows your bias, your thesis. And we never broke it. And we actually bounced off of the pre-market area, followed by strong reversal and a bull flag. Now, the thing is, later on in the day, news came out that Microsoft news was absolutely false, which is insane. Someone purposely made that come out so they could push the market down lower. But that is besides the point. We pushed back strongly, so now I was only looking for longs. I switched my bias. I switched my thesis. Now, as you can see here, we broke above a key level, the 15-minute orb high. But the thing is, it broke out and it faked this out. So if I would have gotten in here, I would have lost. If I would have gotten in here again, I would have lost. Gotten in here again, I would have lost. There have been 3 losses. So sometimes it's important to be patient and wait for the candle to close above and stay above, or wait for that really strong breakout and then wait for price to retrace. So I'm still waiting here. I'm being extremely patient. We finally had a really big breakout candle and we broke out of this triangle or channel, if you want to call it. We broke above and we're above. It hasn't come back yet. It came back here. Now this is a little bit risky because it did close below, but we had strong price action, close above, some candles here closing above. I took an entry here, stops right below here. I went for the 2R once again. I'm in and I'm out. That's all I need. 1 trade for the day. I'm done. I only trade until that 11:30 a.m., which is that 2-hour window. The 2-hour window is all that you really need. Now, the day isn't always going to be this detailed, but you want to try to run through the day after you're done. Later on, close out the charts, come back, journal, see how the day went, see what you missed and whatnot, like I said before. But a quick point that I want to make here is that there are a lot of traders that say to risk 1% of the account. But if you do that on a 50K challenge, you lose 4 trades and you're out. You failed. The key take in that point is that that's only a valid approach if you know what you're doing. But if you don't know what you're doing and you've never had a payout and you haven't proven to yourself that you're profitable yet, and you don't have one repeatable strategy, then that's never going to work. You have to continue to manage your account responsibly until you get that first payout the right way and you prove to yourself that you aren't gambling anymore. But until you do that, until you've proven to yourself and you have the confidence and you're not blowing your evals over and over again, then why are you trying to full port and try to pass as quickly as possible? You are literally gambling. Now, I've gambled before in the past, and you get that dopamine rush because you want to bet all in and win as much as possible and win all the time, and it feels good when you do. But that's not real trading, and that's not going to last over a long period of time. If you actually want to be a trader, you cannot fall for that trap, because I made that mistake for the longest time by just full boarding and winging it. And let me tell you, it actually worked sometimes. But the thing with that is that it starts to reinforce the bad habit that random trades can work out. You take 1 to 3 random trades and they all end up winning. And then in turn, that builds that false confidence where you think you know what you're doing and that you figured it all out and it's super easy. You don't know why anyone else struggles. But I've been there before, and I was stuck in that cycle for a very long time, because once you build that habit, it takes a while to break out of that bad habit and then learn to trade the right way. That's why it took me 5+ years to be profitable. But I want to tell you right now that it doesn't have to take that long. Maybe if you do it alone, yes, it will take that long, or it might take even longer. But if I knew what I know now back then, it would have taken half the time or even less than half the time, because now I have a daily process that I follow that ensures that I never fall back into those old patterns ever again. Now, I want to quickly just explain the rundown of the real risk that you can use that has helped me here as well. You want to risk 5% per trade or per day of the maximum drawdown. Now, this means that it would take you 20 losing trades in a row to fail. If you know what you're doing, you're not going to fail. So for example, for a 50K funded account, the drawdown is usually always that 2K, the 2,000. So if you hit the 2K, you're out, you failed. 5% of that is $100, which means if you're trading micro NASDAQ, MNQ, you're only taking one contract. My favorite is MNQ. This is the only future I trade. Now, if you take the one contract, you're risking 25 points per trade. If you lose the trade, it's $50. So you would have to lose 2 trades in a row. Now, you could set that as your daily max loss to when to call it quits. You hit that, you're out. Or you can take the 2 contracts and only risk 25 points. That's $100. You're done. Now, once you hit that daily max loss, you have to close the charts. You have to walk away, go journal, go do something else, and then maybe come back later on, journal, look at what you did right and wrong, because there were so many times when I just left the charts open just to see what was going to happen. But when I did that, then I always try to justify taking one more trade because actually this looks good. But I realized that past that 2-hour window, the volatility and the volume that you're looking for isn't really there. And I know that you might be thinking, well, it's going to take forever to pass this prop firm challenge and I'm going to be paying so much for the monthly fee. But there are some prop firms that don't charge a monthly fee, like Lucid Trading, the one that I trade with here. It's a one-time fee. There is no monthly fee. There's no activation fee. And that's why I like this one. But just know, in the past, I've blown multiple prop firm accounts. I don't even know how much money I've spent in total on them. And I kept buying them and I kept resetting them. But if you do it the right way, if you do it this way, yes, you might be paying a monthly fee for the prop firm, but you're proving to yourself that you have the discipline, you have the patience. You're proving to yourself that you can be consistently profitable, and in turn, you gain more confidence over time. So the question I want to leave you with is, have you proven to yourself that you're profitable yet? Do you have one strategy that is repeatable and that you can look for on a daily basis over and over again? Or are you still gambling? Are you still full porting? If you can't answer these questions, maybe you should reassess and step back. That's what I did. I had to do that multiple times in these past 5 years. But I hope you found some encouragement from this video. I struggled for 5+ years in this game of day trading, and I'm still journaling. I'm still progressing. I'm still trying to get better. And I want to show you that it's 100% possible by just focusing on this 2-hour trading window of 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. and focusing on quality over quantity. Once I started to make this shift, everything started changing. I simplified everything. I used to have all the indicators, everything on my charts, but now it's less is more. So if you found some value in this video, follow my IG. I post there daily. The link is going to be down below. Also leave any questions and comments below, and I'll get to them. Till next time.